What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be talking about one of the craziest updates that you've been waiting for, some huge changes, and even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and let me know down below in the comment section which major changes are you guys still waiting for, whether it's in multiplayer, Warzone, or even DMZ. Let me know down below. But today we got the release of Christmas Shipment over in Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. Thank you all for tuning into the live stream we did earlier this afternoon. Did some open lobbies, got some camo grinding done. It was a blast, and of course there will be more updates that I'll be streaming over the next couple of weeks, and over the holiday break I'll be doing more camo grinding as well as some grinding of those faction tier missions over in DMZ. Hope to see you guys there, of course. But as of right now, when I'm posting this video, you have about 2 more days left to play Warzone Cup, the free-to-play LTM as a part of the World Cup crossover. I'm aware that Messi did indeed win the World Cup this year, hence why the World Cup crossover is probably coming to an end in game. You know, the World Cup's over, but I still think this mode is a ton of fun to play here in Warzone. It's free to play, of course, accessible to everybody, so might as well keep it in the game a couple of extra weeks at least until season 2, but that's probably not going to be the case because of some legal issues. But with that being said, let me know down below if you guys have played a ton of Warzone Cup. Now, they've also announced a new Twitch Prime reward for Modern Warfare 2. It is the Showdown Bundle, which was previously available in the shop. If you guys bought this previously, then you don't get anything if you have Twitch Prime here for the game. It comes with a blueprint for the F-Tac, the P890 pistol, as well as a sticker and even a weapon charm. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about re-releasing bundles for Twitch Prime rewards. I understand releasing a new type of bundle since anybody out there can go ahead and make a Twitch Prime account versus the way PS Plus packs work, where you have to have a PlayStation to get your hands on some of those combat packs. But with the re-release of an old bundle, it might make some people upset if they already had bought it and also have Twitch Prime, because they just won't get anything for that month. But let me know how you're feeling about that down below in the comments as well. But now when it comes to what is perhaps one of the biggest changes that you guys have definitely been waiting for, it is in regards to the loadout system in Warzone 2.0. As Raven went ahead and tweeted, have a holly jolly Warzone 2. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a loadout drop grenade. Now available at buy stations across Al Mazrah. Loadout drop grenades are currently enabled in Battle Royale for players to purchase via buy stations. The pricing is as follows. For solos you have 8,000, duos 16,000, trios 24,000, and lastly quads for $32,000. Quite a bit of money, but don't forget there are many other ways to get loadout drops here in Warzone 2.0 in comparison to Warzone 1. Obviously you have this new method. You also have the Drop World event, which will happen now during the second circle of your match. They actually changed that with Season 1 Reloaded, so now it comes a lot faster. You also have Strongholds, Black Sites, and the ability to go ahead and buy a primary weapon from a buy station. So there's many ways to get what you want, and I'm all for that variety of how you can get a loadout. I really am, but I am one of those players that did believe we didn't really need to have buyable loadouts via buy stations this time, because there's so many other ways to get one, and on top of that you can buy your primary at any time anyway. Although that's the way I think, I do believe that if the entire community or a majority of it is in collective agreement that loadouts need to come back in order to ensure longevity for Warzone 2, then I'm on board with that, right? Let's give the community what they want and bring loadouts back. But what Raven made very clear is that the continuity of this feature will depend on feedback we receive and overall impact on the Battle Royale experience for Warzone 2, but in the meantime, enjoy. So I think this is a big brain move from Raven to where they're like, you know what, while we go on holiday break, let's leave this feature in the game for a good 2.5 or maybe even 3.5 weeks. When we come back from holiday break, we'll evaluate the feedback, look at the player count, see if that improved Warzone 2 stats. Then we'll make a decision from there if we're going to keep loadouts buyable over at a buy station. But I think it's easy to be a fence sitter with this topic, because on one hand I could say, okay, well, loadouts give Warzone an identity. It makes this Battle Royale unique in comparison to other genres or other games version of BR. Now I do think it's a double-edged sword when adding loadouts back into buy stations. I mean, I don't want them to bend the knee to a select group of people that really want loadouts back just for the sake of making TikToks or whatever content they prefer. Although I don't want that content to die out, because that might be somebody's main source of income, I still think that they should look at the majority overall and what everybody really wants, which in this case, it might be to bring loadouts back to buy stations. In that case, I'm all for it, but people are going to be mad either way. I mean, I get it. Loadouts are a part of Warzone's identity, and they were a part of the identity of Warzone 1 for over 3 years. So to remove that from Warzone 2 is kind of stripping the foundation of what Warzone really stands for, and they make Warzone stand out in a way that other Battle Royales don't. I'm not talking about Fortnite, but just other games versions of their BR. So Warzone stands out from it, but then at the other hand too, I'm like, wait a second, if you remove loadouts from Warzone 2, it gives it more of a BR feel that Warzone 1 really didn't have, because everybody out there is focused on just getting cash as fast as they can, going to a buy station and buying a loadout drop as fast as possible. So I think a good balance here is making sure that you do need quite a bit of money money to go ahead and buy one. So I do think this is a good balance for now. Let's see how the community reacts to it in the next couple of weeks though. But there's also a possibility that maybe the Resurgence map coming out in Warzone 2 within maybe the next month and a half, if not a bit longer, maybe that map won't have the option to let you buy a loadout drop. And maybe this is only something for Al Mazrah, kind of speed up the pace a little bit, because Al Mazrah gameplay could be quite slow at times. It is a fairly large map, but I think for a Resurgence experience, because it's not true BR anyway, let's just do something different. Let's have it to where it's not a Rebirth clone where everybody out there is spamming their loadouts within 35 seconds. Let's have it to where we really have to rely on a bunch of the ground loot, or maybe at least the primary weapons that you have in your classes over at a buy station. At least rely on that and not just spamming loadout markers straight out the gate. And maybe that can give the Resurgence mode for Warzone 2 more of a BR feel than Rebirth or Fortune's Keep had. Now what it also looks like is that Raven is taking charge here with Warzone 2 going forward. It's not confirmed, it might not ever be confirmed, but they are communicating quite a bit, and definitely a lot more than they were a couple of weeks ago when it comes to Warzone 2, and I think that's fine, right? Infinity Ward got it off the ground, but you guys know Infinity Ward could be known as the more stubborn studio that really sticks to their guns, and I respect the integrity there, but when it comes to things that really need to be changed, or things that the community has come together to agree on that needs to be fixed, I think in that case, they should budge a little bit and make a couple of changes. But Infinity Ward usually isn't known to do that, but with Warzone 2 so far, it looks like there have been a lot of changes reverted, a lot of feedback that was taken from COD Next, and even the launch window of Warzone 2, and a lot of things are being implemented here as soon as Season 1 Reloaded, and Raven's the one communicating all of that. So it looks like Raven is probably taking over the Warzone scene going forward, and Infinity Ward will just keep focusing on DMZ, the multiplayer, raids, and any other content they have planned, but I think this is the best approach overall. Now, another shocking update that nobody out there could have expected is that less than 24 hours after the release of the new DMZ map, Building 21, the map itself was removed. Infinity Ward put out the following statement: Building 21 has entered lockdown after significant infiltration. Access cards are disabled but will be operational within the week. Prepare accordingly. Now, a timer is currently set for Friday, so Building 21 is coming back this week as they promised. Now, my question for you guys is, will there be a rotation like we saw with Rebirth and Fortune's Keep, where every single week you're going to end up seeing an opportunity where you can play a certain map and an opportunity where you can't? I don't know if that's the best approach, especially for Building 21, because I think a lot of people out there are still working on getting keycards at Al Mazrah, and maybe when they finally managed to get one, the map got removed. So it's one of those things where at least give players the option to use an access keycard up to 3 times so they get 3 playthroughs of the new map, because imagine working hard to get a keycard on Al Mazrah, finally hopping into Building 21 and dying within the first couple of minutes because a sweaty team ended up pushing your spawn. That's unfortunate, and that could happen. So I think some changes have to be made to make sure a rotation of Building 21 actually makes sense, and maybe an explanation as to why the map got removed so soon is because I was hearing rumors regarding Building 21 access cards being duped. People out there were somehow duplicating the key cards and having unlimited uses when hopping into the new map. Maybe that has something to do with them removing the map this quickly, because 24 hours wasn't long at all to play this map. But then again, Fortune's Keep was a new Warzone map that only lasted, what, less than 6 months? But all in all, you might as well leave Building 21 accessible, at least for the remainder of holiday break, and then when they come back from holiday break in, what, the second week of January, then start doing the rotation thing. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with the future of this DMZ experience. For those out there that still want to learn about the new DMZ map, whether it's some of the secret rooms, the colored key cards, the boss fight, the exclusive weapon you could unlock, or even the 6 weapon cases, I did post several videos covering all of that material, which are linked down below in this video's description. Those videos will still be useful for when the map is live, whenever that rotation does actually get explained better to us. But I guess in the downtime of Building 21, make sure you guys go on Al Mazrah and stock up as many key cards as you possibly can. But last and certainly not least, we got some updated patch notes for both Warzone 2 and DMZ, as Raven went ahead and posted over on their website. Let's take a look. So on December 19th, several bug fixes did go out. As they wrote, fixed an issue where players were able to save blueprints from private matches and showcase. That was a big one. An issue that could affect Basilisk bullet spread when ADSing. Fixed an issue with the gas operator skin not appearing as purchased once unlocked. An issue causing lingering smoke to disappear while in ADS during an active SAE, an issue preventing players from selecting a blueprint after leaving a match early, and an issue that caused Steam friends to appear as their Steam ID 64 rather than their intended nickname. But then lastly, an issue preventing players from selecting the correct number of Battle Pass tokens to purchase. They've also reduced the cost of primary loadout weapons to $2,500, down from $5,000. That's a big one that also bothered me, because I did feel like, hey, those are a bit too expensive for just a single weapon alone. If it came with your secondary or some equipment or even some perks, I'd understand that. if it was like half your loadout, but for just one weapon, 5,000 was a bit expensive, especially considering the fact that money is a bit hard to come across in Al Mazrah. But then we have some bug fixes there with the Champion's Quest, which is the nuke streak you can get in Warzone 2, and they also fixed an issue that prevented players from unequipping an insured weapon if their contraband inventory was full. They've also recently implemented some other gameplay changes, like the chance to encounter multiple circles in BR being reduced to 15%, down from 33. The heavy chopper has been disabled in Battle Royale while they investigate options to balance this vehicle for late game. Double the amount of average buy stations per Battle Royale match, and the loadout drop public event in BR will occur during the second circle, one circle earlier than before. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the updated patch notes for Season 1 Reloaded, Warzone 2, and DMZ? How are you feeling about them bringing back loadout drops to buy stations and the removal of Building 21 so soon? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.